Hi everyone! Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello! My name is Caroline and I make sewing tutorials and sewing patterns to help you on your sewing journey. And today's video is quite special because I'll finally be making something that's been on my to-do list ever since last year. One of my New Year goals for 2023 was to make a piece of clothing from scratch, from start to finish. I wanted to make the sewing pattern for it and sew it as I usually do, but I also wanted to design the fabric. Because if you have seen other videos of mine, there's a small chance that you've heard me complain about how difficult it is to find fabrics with prints that I like. So I've been meaning to learn surface pattern design for quite a while already, even before I started the channel. But I never really knew how to or where to start, but now I do. I have watched lots of classes on it, so I'm going to take you guys along the way with me. And hopefully by the end of this video, I'll have a few pieces of clothing that I designed from start to finish. I am really excited about this. I just hope it works out the way that I'm expecting it to, and it doesn't look hideous. So I'm assuming this video will be filmed throughout 1 month maybe, because first I need to make the pattern, which will probably take a little bit of time, and then I have to order the fabric and wait for it to be made and then shipped, and then I'll be able to start sewing the clothes, which also takes a little while. I don't plan on making just one thing. Since I'll be ordering custom-made fabric, I think it makes more sense to get like more than one design done. I'm not sure how many clothing items I'll sew for this video. It will kind of depend on the length, because I don't want to make it be like 1 hour long, but maybe at least 2 items, maybe 3. So I will aim to create 3 pattern designs, but I have never done this before, so I don't know. And even though I know what types of prints I like Reformation style prints, I'm not gonna look for any printed fabrics from now on because I want to try to come up with a pattern on my own. It will most likely look like something that has already been done in the past at some point, but I'll try to make it my own. So what do you need to get started? To get all of the know-how, I actually took quite a lot of classes. I watched loads of them from different designers and teachers, and a lot of those use Procreate to make them, but I don't have an iPad. I was planning on buying one this month for digital art in general, but there are some other things that I need to prioritize right now, so I'll hopefully only be able to get one in the future, which means making more intricate designs will be a little bit harder. But if you guys end up liking this video, maybe I can just remake it in the future when I'm more comfortable with digital art and all that. But if you don't have an iPad, you can also make it. We just need a vector program on our computer. There is Adobe Illustrator, which is paid, but there is a free alternative to Adobe Illustrator called Inkscape. That's what I've been using for over a year now to make the illustrations on my patterns and the illustrations of the designs as well. And it works great for that. I don't miss Illustrator at all. So I'll try to follow the tutorials on Inkscape instead of Illustrator. Let's hope it works. But if you don't have an iPad, you can just draw on paper like I'll do. And then we use Illustrator or Inkscape to vectorize the drawing, which basically means we can zoom in as much as we want and the image won't be pixelated. It will have great quality. But from what I have noticed, vectorizing an image uses a lot of machine power. So the simpler you make the design, the better it will work if your computer is not super powerful. A few days ago, before I started to film, I tried to draw some flowers from memory. I didn't really like the way they turned out. If you are a naturally gifted artist, that's great for you. It's not my case. So I also watched some drawing classes too. I will link all of the resources that I mentioned in the description, Inkscape, and the links for all the classes too. You can find it down below. But the class I'll use right now to try and learn how to draw flowers properly will be Botanical Drawing, Learn to Sketch Flowers and Arrange in Adobe Illustrator by Lisa Glantz on Skillshare, who's kindly sponsoring today's video. If you guys have never heard of Skillshare before, it's the largest online learning platform for creatives with so many classes to choose from. I honestly found so many good classes on surface pattern design, but on Skillshare you can find classes not only of design, but of a huge variety of topics, from cooking, photography, productivity, and so much more. Skillshare is a great place for you to learn something that you've been meaning to for a while, or get better at something that you already know but aren't a pro yet. And if you'd like to join me on that, the first 500 people to use my link in the description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Thank you Skillshare for sponsoring this video, but now I'm going to start sketching my flowers, which is the first step. I am actually surprised because I do like the way the new flowers came out. They definitely look better than the other one that I made before, at least in my opinion. So now that I have my sketches, I'm going to scan them and put them on my computer so I can start vectorizing them. If you don't have a scanner, you can try to take a photo with your phone and send it to your computer, but I think the scanner does a little bit of a better job. Okay, I tried using the automatic vectorizing part on Inkscape. I don't know if it's the program that's not doing it right or if I'm the problem. It's probably me, but also my computer was struggling a little. I guess it was just too much at the same time. So I have decided that I'm going to use the sketches as a base and I'm going to trace on top of them with my mouse. It'll probably take a little bit of time, but it's something that I really enjoy doing. So I'm going to put some music on and try to have a great time. But I'll see you once I'm done drawing on top of them. Okay, so let me show you guys how I actually made them. First, I started drawing the petals on a single layer and I tried to make them with a similar shape as the original drawing. Then on another layer, I started drawing the little details that come with it, like the lines and then the flower core as well. And making them in separate layers and using different colors and naming all of the layers is going to make it easier for us to make any changes in the future with the colors or within any of those elements. And then I made the stem separately. And to create more depth within the flower, I decided to start making those random shapes with different colors, like use darker shades and lighter shades to make seem like it's a shadow or to be like a highlight. And I also used a different layer for each one of the colors that I chose to place. And to be honest, I just played with it until I thought it looked good. It took a very long time, basically the entire afternoon. I think maybe it took me 40 minutes or more to make each one of the flowers. And I just went ahead and I just picked some pink colors just to fill them up so they would have a little bit more depth. It doesn't really mean I'm going to keep the pink. It was just like a placeholder for the different shades. But in the end, I actually ended up liking the pink a little. We'll see. I'm going to record the screen now so I can show you guys what I mean while I say it. And what I told you guys about having those colors only as placeholders is because I can actually switch any of those colors whenever I want. And for that, I just need to click with my right finger, go to select all of the same. I'm going to translate it because it's in Portuguese, but it's here. Select all of the same. And then I'm choosing color of the filling. I think that's what it would be called. So when I click this, everything that was filled with the same color as this little square here will be selected, and I can just go here to filling and contour and just change the color. I can just make it blue, red, or yellow, and I can do that to all of those. Select all of the same fill color and do the same thing. But of course, they need to match, otherwise it's not gonna look really good. But I think this is good for the first day. I'm gonna try off camera to find some other color palettes that I might like. My favorite color is actually blue, so I'm gonna try to see if I can make some blue flowers or maybe purple or red. So I'll try to see what I like, and then hopefully tomorrow I'll come back and show you guys my progress. Hello! This is actually me from the future here. I unfortunately lost a lot of the footage, so I'm gonna have to re-record this part. But the thing is, it's actually so much easier to create a surface pattern design on Inkscape because they already come with a template. So it's a free software and also has a template that you can already just edit it out. You just need to go to Other right here and Continuous Pattern. In Portuguese it says Padrões Contínuos. So you just open it up. It's gonna ask you to choose the dimensions, and I'm going to leave 300 by 300. And everything else is really self-explanatory. You can read what it says in here because it does describe everything that you need to do. So here in Layers and Objects, you're going to open up this layer called Pattern, and under Pattern, we have Helper Layer. This is what I'm gonna open up. And under Helper Layer, we have Pattern Foreground and Pattern Background. And you can edit those two layers however you want to create your patterns. I'm going to delete what's in here so I can start with a blank canvas. And when you click on top of the layer, this is the one that you're going to be editing in. So I'm going to add to the background a square just to fill as a color. You can use whatever color you want. I'm gonna leave it black for now. And now on the pattern foreground layer, we're going to start adding our motifs. So I open up my older file with all of my flowers and I'm going to select, just going to take this background off just so it's easier for us to see. But I'm going to select the flower that I want to bring there. I'm copying it and I'm going to paste it here. As you can see, it's a bit too big. I'm going to group it and make it smaller. But whatever I put in here is going to be repeated. And just automatically, if you put it on top of a border, it goes to the other side as well, which is pretty cool. Because you don't need to do any extra steps. You just need to place them however you want, and you have the live preview right next to it. And then you just need to play around with them and place them wherever you want them to be. And then you just need to export it. Here you can decide the resolution that you need. If it's a really big print, if you want it to be really big, then you should make this higher. But I think 300 by 300 is okay, so I'm going to export it and it will be saved on your computer. And to purchase the fabric, I sent them the PNG file that I just showed you, but they also asked to send I don't know how to pronounce this in English. In Brazil, we call it rapó. Basically, they wanted to know how the repetition happened. So I created a template on Clothes 3D where I showed like exactly how I wanted the pattern to be repeated. But this is what I came up with. I have changed the colors of the flowers for this lilac right here, and I wanted to have the background as black because I was kind of afraid that if I chose a different color, like I don't know how well the colors are going to translate into fabric, so I went with black because I feel like it would be safer to go with black. But this is the first pattern. And the lady that I was talking to, she said that it was actually a really good representation. Like this PDF that I sent was more than enough, thankfully. This is my first time doing this, so I wasn't really sure, but she said it was good. And this is the second one. I made the flowers way smaller this time and way sparse. Like they're way more separate from each other than they were on the first trial. And here's the size that I would like them to look like. And I changed the colors of the flowers to red. Since they're so small, I don't think it's gonna be like it's gonna show really well the shading detail that I made, but it's okay. I really like tiny small flowers and I think it looked really cute. And the third one is also with black, and I was using the original colors from the pink that I just chose as placeholders in the beginning. I thought they looked cute. So we have two fabrics with black background and one with a beige yellow, light yellow color. And we have two small flowers and one with bigger flowers. Because I feel like the bigger one is gonna show better, like show my design a little bit better, and the small one's not really, but I really like small flowers and I think they look very delicate, so this is what I came up with. It's actually not that difficult to make. It was the first time that I was doing this, so it took me a while, but this is it. Those are my 3 patterns, and I have already seen them in real life, but let's pretend I haven't seen them yet, so I hope they turn out looking cute. The fabric just arrived in the mail. I was actually filming something else and I just received it. My dad picked it up for me. I haven't opened it yet. I wanted to open it in front of the camera, but let's go. Let's just hope the fabric's translated well from the screen to the fabric. That's the one thing that I'm the most anxious about. I think the sizing they will get right. Okay. I don't know if the camera is picking up everything really well, but the colors look very similar to how it looked on my computer. I am impressed. And the beige one looks so pretty. It looks exactly how I want it. Like the beige color. It's just a little bit transparent, but it's kind of expected when it's such a light color. Like you can see the drawing of the flower underneath as well. But I knew that I had to line it if I were to choose such a light color like this. And the black one with the pink flowers also looks really great. I'm gonna try to get like a better shot of the fabrics itself, but I'm actually really happy with the way they turned out. Like they look exactly how I expected them to look like. The sizing and everything. They're just a little bit stiff. I think maybe it's because of how much ink went into it. So I'm going to wash them before doing anything to them, of course. Because I had bought fabric from this store before and it wasn't as stiff. Like I think I was even wearing the shorts yesterday. I think I have another, let me see if it's still here. 1 second. Yeah, this one is still here. I don't wear it as often because Joselino, my cockatiel, poked a hole in it with his beak. I don't know if you can see. When he lays on my lap, he likes to chew on the fabric and that happened. But this one is very soft. but I've also worn it a lot and I've washed it a lot. And this one's way more stiff, but I think it's because of the ink. I feel like it's gonna go out once I wash it. But yeah, I'm really happy with the way they turned out. They look just like how I expected them to look like, and the colors look great. I'm gonna wash them and then I'm gonna start working on the actual sewing projects because I still have a lot to do. So it's the next day now, and I have finally already decided what I'm going to do with each one of the fabrics, and I have washed, dried, and ironed all of them. With the big flowers one, I'm going to make the Amy by Sketch dress. I have already made this a few times already in the channel, so I'm going to link the full tutorial down in the description if you guys want to check it out. And for the black one with mini flowers, I'm going to use the Mylena dress that's currently in the testing phase. I have received feedback from a lot of the pattern testers already, and things are pretty promising. It took me way longer than I expected to do all of the grading and then the testing process. It took me longer than I expected. I had a lot of bumps along the way, but it's probably gonna come out next month. Hopefully, finally. But to cut down a little bit of time, I have already cut all of them before I started filming. And I'm not planning on doing a very step-by-step detailed sewing tutorial for them right now because I already have videos about them and I don't want this video to be extremely long. So I think I'm just going to speed this part up. I have already stay stitched the neckline and the armholes of all of them just so it doesn't end up deforming, but now I'm going to sew all of them to each other. And I'm gonna try to make the Mylena dress this time without a lining just to see if it's gonna work out or not. Because the other time that I made this dress here on my channel, the old money dress, I made it with a thicker material and I lined it. And the other test that I made was made with viscose, but I didn't stabilize the neckline and it was a little bit weird. So I'm gonna try to do again with the viscose just to see if it's gonna work out. But let me get started because otherwise I'm not gonna have sunlight. So I sewed the front and the back panels together, and I also overlocked the edges of the seam and I top stitched it down, which was the best way that I found about finishing it on the inside because of the princess seams. It doesn't look the best, but it does the job. And I'm going to place the back panels on top of the front and sew at the shoulders and at the sides since there isn't a lining. And then all I'll need to do is add the zipper and finish everything off with bias binding. But I think I'm gonna finish it off tomorrow and I'm gonna start working on the Amy because I honestly am a little bit lazy when it comes to adding zippers and I don't want to do it right now. And I'm gonna set it aside to start the Amy by Sketch dress. Okay, it's already 7:30, I think, 7:21 p.m. and I am almost done with the Amy by Sketch dress. There are only two things left to do. I have to finish the armholes with bias binding because they haven't been finished yet, and I also need to make the hem. But for the hem, I cannot make it today. I'll have to leave the dress hanging overnight and then I'll have to do it tomorrow just in case the hem becomes uneven because it's cut on the bias. But I'm really tired, so I think I'm going to leave the armholes for tomorrow as well, together with the hem. I'm going to finish it off tomorrow. But I honestly really like how fast it is to make this. I think it takes me around 3 hours to make the Amy by Sketch dress now because I've made it so many times already. And for the Mylena dress, I also need to finish the neckline and the armholes with bias binding because I didn't line it. And I also need to add the zipper to the back and then do the hem. But as I said, I'm really tired, so I think I'm just gonna leave all of that for tomorrow. But I also think I'm not going to film myself. I'm going to do it off camera because the video is already being way too long and I already have a full tutorial on how to make this, so I think you don't need to see it again. You might be tired of seeing me make this, but yeah, I still need to decide whether I'm going to make something for this video with the white one with the red flowers, because I feel like this video is already going to be so long and I can still use this fabric for another tutorial in the future. Like, I don't have to use it right now. I don't know. I'm going to check the footage and then I'll decide whether I'm going to make something else or not. But I tried both of them on and I really like how they're looking. I'm really excited to show you guys. Because to be honest, in the beginning, even though I was kind of excited about making like fabric, I was kind of scared that it wasn't going to work out because it was my first time doing that. But it just makes me so happy to know that I made this pattern. Like, so cool. But yeah. I'm gonna take my lenses off, take a shower, tidy my room, eat something because I've only had lunch, and then I'm gonna show you guys the end result. So I really hope you guys liked today's video. It was honestly so fun for me and I really want to do this more often. If you do end up making your own pattern, don't forget to tag me on Instagram so I can see you too. And if the video was helpful to you at all, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The Mylena dress pattern is coming out very soon, so stay tuned and I hope to see you guys around next time as well. Bye!